I'm tuning in. Channel is open. I welcome you to the field of remembrance. My name is Han, and I acknowledge your presence and your being in the field of sovereignty and mischievousness. You see, if we are on our path of awakening, of discovering who we truly are and who we truly can be, as we begin to sense and feel and step into our potential, our true potential, when we do that, we literally create a new mind, and we are letting go of an old mind. And as you read it in the title of this video, it is about the feeling of losing my mind, the feeling of disorientation, the feeling of going crazy. And I want you to tune into this transmission and this frequency, because this frequency of sovereignty will recalibrate your field and will bring clarity, will awaken clarity into your being, so that next time this happens, you can exactly step into those footprints of frequency and consciousness to navigate mischievously like a master through this feeling. Because this feeling of losing your mind doesn't happen to you. It happens to your human aspect. It happens to your body. It happens to your brain. But not to you, because you are the consciousness observing that it is happening. And as you may heard from me in my other videos, I love science, the science behind transformation, behind change and transformation, because I totally love to know what I'm doing and why. And I love to understand what is happening inside of me, not only in consciousness, in energy, but also physiology in the body, so that the how of this journey gets easier. And let me break it very simple down for you, because it's not really hard stuff. It's easy. And I invite you to really tune into with me now. So let's feel in our hearts for a moment. Let's breathe. You see, from 0 to 7, in the age from 0 to 7, you literally, as a human being, your body, your brain, doesn't have any analytical facilities. That means simply you have no analytical mind to determine what information you accept as good for you or not good for you. It's simple. From 0 to 7, this facility is not evolved, not finished, so to speak. This means, this is the only reason why we are getting programmed at this age from 0 to 7 completely. We intake everything, every behavior that we see, every feeling that we feel, every word that has been said to us. We inhale everything, and this becomes our programming so that we can survive. That's good, but we're moving to a new earth, to new levels of consciousness and being that are already arriving here in certain birth years. They will not really forget who they are. But anyway, so you're getting programmed, and by the year you're 35 years old, 95% of who you are, imagine that, 95% of who you are is a set of unconscious behaviors, feelings, emotions, thoughts that are not really you, and you have lost your free will to those programs. But the great thing is that this is the chance for us to step into empowerment. And while this awakening and this change and this transformation happens, imagine it like this. Imagine your brain as a template, and on this template you have neurons. Okay, in your brains you have neurons, very simple said. And imagine one neuron like one thought. And the more you repeat a thought or repeat a belief or something like this, the more this neuron gets strengthened, the more thick it becomes, and the more it creates communities of neurons, and it gets hardwired in your brain. So it becomes your identity. So for example, the belief that your life has to be hard becomes an identity, because you maybe once heard it at the age of 2 from your parents, and now over all of these years you repeated it silently in your unconscious mind, subconscious mind, again and again and again. It becomes your reality and your identity. So, but as you move now through change, through transformation, and you want to change your life and you want to change yourself, you begin to think differently. You decide to listen to this video and to have new information, and new information gives you the possibility to think in different ways. But what you're doing when you do this, you're giving energy into a new identity. You're creating new neurons that begin to become thicker and thicker and thicker, but the old ones are no longer having your attention, okay? They no longer have your attention, but they will try to get your attention. And this is simply the voice you hear in your head. You know, when you do something that you love to do, and this voice that said, I'm not good enough and nobody will like it and all of this stuff, these voices are literally only neurons in your brain. And what happens with this losing my mind feeling is that you have created a mind, you have created an identity over all of those years, and now you're changing and you're giving your attention to new information. You create a new personality, and in your brain this happens physically, for real. It happens physically. You create new neurons, a new template, but the old template no longer gets energy from you, no longer gets attention. And simply said, you have a mind that was built your entire life. Now you're changing, but now you have to lose this mind right here, throw it away, and invest into a new mind and let it bloom. So of course it feels like you're losing your mind and you feel like you're going crazy. But all that happens, listen closely, all that happens is that you loosen up these old connections, and you are discovering in a new field how big and wide you actually are. But this is unknown to you because you once thought in this box, and now you're expanding your field, you're expanding your frequency and energy, your awareness, and you begin to move beyond all of those voices you see. And when you have the feeling that you're losing your mind or you're going crazy, and it can be really intense, believe me, and when this happens, first thing that you do, tell yourself you're doing it right. Also when you're meditating, you're doing it right. If you have the feeling of losing your mind, you're doing it right, because you have to lose the old mind in order for the new mind to appear completely. But you can do it simultaneously. Relax your body, breathe with it, hands on your heart. And tune into your sovereignty and boldness to just sit there and observe this feeling, this sensation, because you are not it. Remember that you are not the sensation in your brain or the feeling of that you're losing your mind. You are not it. You are the consciousness observing it, okay? Imagine big, eternal, endless space. And you are as this big, eternal, endless space came down on earth. You are programmed into a certain box, and this box is in this eternal space, infinite, everlasting, never ending. And then you expand to this, oh my God, I'm really eternal and expanding and never ending. But this box that was created has to loosen up. So you're actually discovering more of who you really are, and you have been this all the time. That's the paradox. That's the only way you even can expand your awareness above it and beyond it, because you are already it, you see? So if you feel a feeling of losing your mind, remember that these are just neurons in your brain that once get hardwired into a certain story and identity of who you thought you are. But you make changes because you no longer want to be this person, you want to have a different life, and in order to have a different life, you have to change the personality that you are. Then remember in those moments of, I feel like I lose my mind, that this is exactly what's happening. Those neurons are breaking down, they're getting loosened, and you invest your attention into a new person. And the new person, the sovereign being that walks in mischief through all of this, the master, sits with that. So if you feel this, sit with it. I swear to you that it will have an end. Clarity will come back. But it's like discovering a new path of the map, a new area of the map that you haven't seen before, and it's unknown in the first place, but clarity after that only can come because you remembered, oh, I was this all the time. No need to worry. So it is alright when you have this sensation, this feeling. Second point, sit with it. Make your body feel safe. Go into meditation, hands on your heart. Remember what's happening. Neurons, hardwired neurons, because of you expanding your awareness, they will begin to break down. That's what's happening physically in your brain, simply said. And it can feel tough. I feel you. But you will be fine. You listen to me. If you see this video, you will be fine. And this video found you for a reason. Celebrate it when it happens. Because if you have this feeling, then you already became somebody new. It's like throwing off and letting go of just things that you no longer need. That's your body catching up, ultimately. You already expanded, otherwise it wouldn't be possible. So think of it like laying down old clothing. Old clothing, you lay it down. You're no longer this person. The jacket represented your old belief system, your old identity, no longer fits. Get it out. Okay. You're done with it. Yeah, there's a process of getting a jacket out. You have to make it, you have to open it and put your arms out. Something like this takes a little time. But after that, you will feel lighter, and you can do with the jacket whatever you want to. Even never take it on again, or whatever. Okay. If you're interested in more science behind that, let me know in the comments. And if this clicked, I invite you to get your golden signal from the Sovereign Field of Remembrance. I link it below. It's like a newsletter, but I found newsletter is a little bit too outdated. I like to call it a wink from the universe at the exact right timing. At the exact right timing. Then, when you need it, with the exact words that you need. And with that, feel free to discover the description. Many beautiful things are in there. And with that, from the field of remembrance, this is Han, in warmth and mischievous clarity. You got this. See you in the frequency. Goodbye.